Hi, everyone, and welcome to our 12 News Journey to Paris Olympics special. I'm Tram Mai. In the next hour, we'll introduce you to some local athletes to be cheering for when the Games get underway on July 26. We'll also look at some Paris landmarks that will serve as the backdrop for these Games, as well as the history behind the culture of the French. Here in Arizona, we are honored to be the home of the greatest Olympics athlete in history. Swimmer Michael Phelps is the most successful and decorated Olympian of all time, with a total of 28 medals, 23 of them gold, 3 silver, and 2 bronze medals in 4 Summer Olympics. He really is the gold standard in Olympic swimming. But the name you want to be following in this year's Games is a 22-year-old member of the Arizona State swim team, Leon Marchand. He helped lead ASU to its first NCAA swimming championship this year and is the 3-time Pac-12 Swimmer of the Year. He did not medal at the 2020 Games in Tokyo, but this year he has some added incentive. Marchand was born in France and will be representing his home country. 12 News journalist Lena Washington has more on the ASU superstar's journey back home to Paris.
Big things are ahead for Arizona State's Leon Marchand. He came to Tempe from Toulouse, France, and the Sun Devil swimmer will be representing his country in Paris this summer.
It's going to be huge. All the best swimmers will be here, and it's at home, so I'm very excited for that. I get a lot of support from back home. I think I will feel it even more when I get back.
Marchand started swimming for ASU in 2021, but before he was donning the maroon and gold, he was going for gold, competing at the Tokyo Olympics.
I got 6th in Tokyo, and that made me very confident for the future, because I was only a few seconds from the best in the world. You know, going to the US and train with Coach Bowman was a huge step for me.
Bob Bowman is ASU's former swim coach. He mentored and trained Michael Phelps, the most decorated Olympian of all time. Bowman says what sets Marchand apart is his relentless pursuit of excellence.
I think it's just his work ethic. He's very detail-oriented. He works hard on a daily basis. He comes in and tries to raise his standard every day, and he raises the standard of everyone else.
Marchand is not only raising the standard, he's making history.
Leon Marchand gets accolades from Michael Phelps along 4:02.5. Let's go.
In July 2023, he broke Phelps's world record in the 400-meter individual medley, which has become Marchand's favorite and most challenging event.
I know we'll do the I am stuff, 2 IM, 4 IM, and then the rest, I don't know. We'll see.
I'm just curious, what has been the most valuable piece of advice from your coach or a fellow competitor in an Olympic year to balance competing in college, your lifestyle, and then preparing for the world stage this summer?
Coach Bowman has been to the Olympics 7 times already, so I think he knows how to handle that. I just trust him. Just trust the process and trying to work harder and harder every day.
It's been fun to see him grow as a man, as an athlete. And he's very serious about the swimming, obviously, so that was never a problem. And he's learned how to manage the things away from the pool that, everyone has to do when you go to college.
At 22 years old, Marchand is setting multiple records as a 10-time NCAA champion and a 5-time World Aquatics champion. But performing on the global stage runs in his family. His parents are former Olympic swimmers. Now Leon is ready to put on a show in Paris, and the Sun Devil will be soaking up every Olympic moment.
I want to get there and just enjoy it. It's every 4 years. This time it's going to be at home in front of my crowd, so yeah, I'm very excited for it.
In Tempe, Lena Washington, 12 Sports.
And unlike Marchand, U of A graduate Delaney Schnell won a silver medal in diving for Team USA in Tokyo at the 2020 Games. The Tucson native will return to Olympic competition in Paris. 12 News journalist Luke Liddon caught up with her about her Olympic experience.
You know, it's really cool to see we have so many ties to the state of Arizona as we gear up for the Olympic Games, and one of those being Tucson native Delaney Schnell. She's had an illustrious career and is looking to finally go gold. Take a look.
Jessica Parato and Delaney Schnell from the United States of America with a back 2.5 somersaults, 1.5 twist pikes.
Tiptoes on the edge, 32 feet up, wasn't always the plan for Delaney Schnell.
Excellent dive. Very, very good.
I actually initially was like, no, it's too scary for me. Like, I can't do that.
At just 10 years old, Schnell chose to leave the world of gymnastics and opted instead for a 3-story drop off this diving platform.
My first couple weeks diving, I wouldn't even jump off 10 meter because I jumped off 5 meter, the one that's like in between, and I like put my arms out and landed and smacked my arms, and I was like, I'm not doing that again. So I was like, never doing 10 meter, and it's just so funny because now it's, you know, it's the event that I ended up being really good at.
Delaney's realization she could rep the American flag on the biggest stage came back in 2011 when she won the junior national title just a year into the sport.
And I had a coach actually ask me, like, do you want to go to the Olympics? Is that something that you want to do? And I was like, yeah, I think that's something that I would like to shoot for. So it really became a reality when I started traveling internationally at a young age.
The accolades continued to pile up, earning several honors with the Wildcats, eventually leading to a silver medal at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics in the 10-meter synchronized platform.
I don't even remember standing on the podium. Honestly, it went by like such a blur. Now it's just trying to go back and maybe do the same thing. Do it over.
I'm in the Paris Games, a sport that requires perfection in a matter of seconds from platform to water.
As little as like the timing of the come out, you have to try and see the spot and then be able to react at the right time. All these little details.
Details that hope to lead Schnell and the USA to another Olympic medal.
It's nice to be able to go into the next Olympic cycle and not feel the pressure to have to do that again because we've already done it. It's just such an unbelievable feeling to like just feel that adrenaline and just like hear the crowd and like be with the crowd, and it's really exhilarating. It's exciting.
Luke Liddon, 12 Sports.
Well, sometimes you never know what road can lead an athlete to Olympic stardom. Take, for instance, Brophy Prep High School football star Devin Allen. His journey took him to the Philadelphia Eagles, but his prowess in the high hurdles has led him to put his NFL career on hold and try out for Paris. 12 News journalist Cameron Cox chronicles Allen's journey.
He makes it look so easy, effortless, like he's flying. Time sure has.
I'm the strongest I've been, the fastest I've been, so, you know, maturity, I'm getting the beard in a little bit.
Devin Allen is one of the greatest athletes in Arizona history, certainly one of the fastest. From touchdowns on Fridays and Saturdays to becoming one of the top hurdlers in the world to getting signed by the Eagles after taking 6 years off from football.
You know, getting back into football, you know, definitely athletic enough, definitely have the skill set and talent to play in the NFL.
What a journey, but a quest for a third straight Olympics comes with a familiar battle.
I got hurt this season, like week 14 in practice, just non-contact, you know, something doing a route that I've done 1,000 times.
When Allen was 20, he suffered his first ACL injury. At 21, he suffered his second. Now at 29, he's going through the rehab for a third time.
It's definitely the most difficult path that I've had, you know, but you know, it's not out of the question.
I'm proud of him.
Allen's been through harder things, like losing his dad in the summer of 2022. Lewis was his biggest fan.
I knew where my parents and stuff were sitting, so I knew I was going to go up there.
So I knew that he was going to do something. I didn't think he was going to Lambeau leap. I was trying to get to him so that I could at least reach over and hug him.
You know, that motivation, you know, talking to my dad when I was little about, you know, making to the NFL and, you know, finally being able to accomplish, you know, this dream. Sorry. You know, finally being able to accomplish this dream and do it for him. And, you know, it's been awesome.
You would have thought this was pretty cool, wouldn't
you? For sure.
Back here at Brophy, Allen's name's still all over the record books. He truly had an incredible high school career, and every spring he returns to where it all started to be a part of a meet named in his honor.
I'm really blessed to have the opportunity to get to go back, kind of give me free access to kind of help and be around as much as I want. A lot of guys that I played with that, you know, now they're back in Phoenix, and, you know, firefighters and EMTs and realtors and all that stuff. You know, we're all getting older, so it's cool to be around. Those guys are always around Brophy as well.
Allen won't be ready for the start of NFL training camp in late July, but he's hoping to be ready for the USA track and field trials in late June. He's done it all, except win an Olympic medal.
Winning the medal would be great.
but the first goal is just to make the team.
That'll be worth dancing about. In Phoenix, Cameron Cox, 12 Sports.
Good luck to all our local athletes. The Paris Olympics begin July 26 right here on NBC. 12 News, of course, your official Olympic station. And I'll be covering the big games live from the City of Lights. But for right now, we're going to take a different kind of journey to Paris. We're headed to the city of neon lights, Las Vegas, Nevada, and a stop at the Paris Hotel to give you a feel for the culture, style, and history of Gay Paris. We may not be in Paris, France, but we are at the Paris Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada, where there is plenty of French culture. Our journey to Paris begins as we make our way to the Eiffel Tower. This is a replica of a very famous bridge over the Seine River called Le Pont Alexandre III. Now, this is only a fifth of the actual bridge that's also a thoroughfare to the Eiffel Tower.
Bonjour, madame.
Bonjour! This is Eduardo Zepeda, ambassador of the Eiffel Tower at the Paris Hotel. Where are we headed, Eduardo?
We're headed to the top.
Let's go. All right, so how tall is this?
This tower is 541 feet tall compared to the one in France, which is 1,083 feet tall.
And how many visitors can this hold all at once?
All at once, this tower holds 96. The one in France can hold 5,000 at a time.
And how much money did it cost to build this?
To build this tower, it took $28 million. Compared to the one in France, it took $1.5 million.
Okay, 1.5 though, keep in mind that was back in 1889. Nowadays, how much would that be?
That is $80 million in today's money. Hi, Tram. We're here to the 46th floor of the Eiffel Tower in Vegas.
Wow, look at this view. You can see the entire strip from here. It is magnificent. We'll have much more from the Paris Hotel as our journey to Paris continues. Coming up later on our 12 News Journey to Paris special, we'll introduce you to an Arizona father of 4 from Surprise, who's trying to breakdance his way onto the U.S. Olympics team. But up next, they are the men's and women's GOATs of the U.S. basketball teams, and they play right here in Arizona. Their story when Journey to Paris returns. They're calling it a ceremony on a river. For the first time in Summer Olympics history, this year's opening ceremonies will not take place in a stadium, but instead, it'll happen along the Seine River. The parade of athletes will ride on boats for each national delegation. These boats will be equipped with cameras to allow television and online viewers to see the athletes up close. The opening ceremony is on Friday, July 26th, and you'll be able to see them right here on 12 News. If you're looking for a good bet to win gold during the Paris Olympics, look no further than the U.S. men's and women's basketball teams. Dominance is the word that comes to mind. The men's team has been in 19 Olympics since 1936 and has won 16 gold medals, 1 silver, and 2 bronze, while compiling 143 wins against only 6 losses. And the U.S. women's team has been just as good, capturing 9 gold medals, 1 silver, and 1 bronze in 11 Olympic Games with a record of 72 wins and only 3 losses. And this year's Olympic teams will have a very distinctive Arizona flavor, as we hear from our 12 Sports team, beginning with Cameron Cox.
Well, Tram, back-to-back Olympics now have had a very big-time Suns flavor. Nightly here in the Valley, how cool is this? Not only do we get to watch one of the greatest basketball players of all time, we get to watch one of the greatest Olympians of all time. As we all know, Kevin Durant doesn't do many one-on-one interviews, but he was fired up to talk to us about the upcoming Summer Olympics and USA basketball. One of the greatest of all time. One of the greatest Olympians, too.
Our country is so important to each and every one of us as players, breeded us and groomed us into who we are today.
Kevin Durant leading Team USA in a 4th Olympics. The 3-time gold medal winner is also the USA's all-time Olympic scorer.
Nobody's bigger than the group, so it's always fun being around the greatest players that ever played, but for them to be selfless and great teammates, that's the cherry on top.
KD will be the third oldest player to suit up for Team USA, only to be outdone by his teammate, Steph Curry, who'll be 36, and LeBron James, who'll be a record 39.
Do you have a favorite Olympics that you've been to?
Man, probably 12, since this is my first one. 2012 in London. I mean, that team was star-studded from LeBron to Kobe to Chris Paul, Darren Williams, you know. So it was a lot of guys I can learn from at that age, and I was just grateful to have that opportunity. It was one of the fondest moments of my life. Me and Carmelo got tight there, you know, so it was an incredible time.
Those are like old school AAU trips, right?
Yeah,
Back in the day.
Yeah,
right?
most definitely. And this time we got our own spending money, you know.
It makes it a little better.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Makes it better when he gets to play alongside his everyday teammate, Devin Booker, again. The duo helped USA win gold 4 years ago.
What was that like to win that gold medal together?
It was incredible, man. It was weird circumstances with COVID, so we couldn't really do much in Japan. We stayed in the hotel the whole time. We lost a couple games, which was the first in my career. It was a grind, and you know, guys were, you know, trying their best to stay in it, and that's what we did, was able to come out with the W.
That was before the trade, but going back even further, KD remembers Baby Book from his early days training with USA.
Felt like he belonged. He was a quiet killer, but was observant. But you knew he was next up on the list of guys.
Going right at you.
Yeah, he was going, yeah. And that's what I appreciated about him. He's played physical, strong defense, but and you know how he does on the offensive side of the ball. So you could tell he's one of the guys next up that's going to be on the list. And glad I got to win a gold medal with him in 2020, and hopefully we can do it again.
Paris will be back to normal, crowds and all,
USA going for a 5th straight Olympic gold medal.
and loaded with their best roster in years.
Would mean to win one more to do it. It seems like there's been a repush for USA basketball this time around, right?
Yeah. I mean, we struggled last summer for the World Championship, so we almost kind of want to redeem ourselves a bit. And so we're looking forward to the opportunity. I mean, it's one of the funnest times in my life playing for Team USA. It's such a brotherhood that I can't wait to be a part of again.
Lena Washington joining me now. And Lena, you know how cool it was 4 years ago when they teamed up on Team USA. And that's where these rumors started about those two playing together in the NBA. Look what happened all these years later. By the way, Devin Booker heading to his second Olympics. Book is going to wear number 15 again, which, of course, honors his dad, Melvin.
And I mean, basketball fans here in the Valley are so lucky being able to watch Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Mercury legend Diana Taurasi playing right here in downtown Phoenix. And now DT has a chance to stand alone in the Olympic history books. You'll remember back in August 2021, she famously said, "See you in Paris," after winning her 5th gold medal. And now she has a chance at 42 years old to become the first and only basketball player to win 6 gold medals. 6 Olympics coming up for you. What will the next couple weeks look like?
It's always exciting, you know. Nothing's promised. You know, during the off season, you just try to go to every single camp and really put your imprint on what that team needs. And I've been lucky enough to be on it for 5 Olympics, so I know what it takes to be on that team. And it's just the ultimate role of being unselfish. You know, it's definitely a skill.
Yeah. What would it mean for you to see that come to fruition? I mean, you said it in Tokyo, and right. It's right here.
Yeah, I mean, Tokyo was a unique Olympics with no fans and during the pandemic. And, you know, I still want to compete at the world level. Whenever you get the call to represent your country, it's an honor, and I don't take that lightly. So, you know, I've done everything I can to put my hat in the running.
I know you're probably tired of getting this question, but with the All-Star game coming here, 20 being a big round number, is this the last season for DT?
You know, I don't know. The storyline's there.
Sure.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, the next Olympics is in LA. That's where I'm from.
There you go.
Kidding.
No, see you in LA right now?
I'm joking. I'm not even putting that out there.
I mean, we have the tape now. It's out there.
You know, when I got here in 2004, I'd never been to the desert before. I didn't know much about Phoenix, but it's home now. It's, you know, where my family lives. It's where I feel like I'm going to spend the rest of my life. So it's really special to be here after, you know, 20 years. Just, I feel really lucky. I feel really lucky to have been in Phoenix the whole time and wearing one jersey.
DT and the Valley will be center stage for the WNBA All-Star Game on July 20th right here at Footprint Center. And then Team USA will begin its journey to 8 consecutive gold medals in Paris on July 29th.
Yeah, and as far as the men go, they got a couple of exhibition games in July in Vegas, Dubai, and London. They get going July 28th for the Olympics against Serbia. That'll do it for us. Tran, back to you.
Thanks, Cam and Lena. When our journey to Paris continues, something old and something new. The history of France's famous dance and an introduction to a brand new Olympics event where an Arizona father of 4 hopes to bring home the gold. Commissioned by Napoleon to celebrate France's military triumphs, the first stone of this majestic Arc de Triomphe was laid on the emperor's birthday, August 15, 1806. However, its construction stretched over 3 decades, finally completing in 1836, long after Napoleon's death in 1821. Welcome back. You see the stage behind me? It's where one of the world's oldest cabaret dances is performed. Long before the Radio City Rockettes, there were the can-can dancers. Take a look into its history. At the Moulin Rouge,
been here for 7.5 years.
Performers like Joan Wilkins spend a lot of time perfecting a dance.
Notably, we do the can-can 12 times a week.
That originated here 130 years ago and has become one of the most well-known dances.
It's the most famous dance in the world.
Fanny Rabies with the Moulin Rouge says the can-can was created during the French Revolution.
And it was a way for the women of the people to say we're not happy about our condition, you know. We want to fight the government, we want to fight the army, we want to fight the church.
Back then, even posters at the Moulin Rouge became a scandal.
It was very shocking because in that poster, La Goulue, you know, she turns and she shows her knickers.
So this dance really turned heads with variations added over the years to tease the French army.
The dancer, she takes her leg and she puts the legs here. And it's like she's holding a rifle. So it was a way to mock the army.
And all these years later, the can-can is still being performed on this stage.
Then the dancers are proud to continue the tradition of the can-can because at that time, you know, when it was created, it was a way for the women to show their strength, to liberate themselves.
And is a big part of the Moulin Rouge tradition.
We will always have a can-can perform at the Moulin Rouge.
Performed by dancers, Fanny says we'll keep doing the can-can.
Because the Moulin Rouge is associated to the can-can.
While the can-can dances have been part of France's culture for centuries, breakdancing or breaking is making its big Olympics debut in the Paris Games. Not familiar with it? I caught up with Miguel Rosario at his home in Surprise, Arizona, and he hopes to represent Team USA in Paris. He defies gravity.
I'm always ready.
So it's no wonder when Miguel Rosario breakdances, he's known as Gravity.
I had to reinvent myself physically.
Miguel has flipped and jumped his way to the top, winning numerous awards nationally and internationally.
The most important one to me is gonna be this one. This day, I became a professional breaker.
But Miguel didn't begin as a breaker. He started as a gymnast when he was just 1. But when he was 16, 2 breakdancers rocked his world.
And when I saw him breakdancing in the corner, I was like, dude, I saw that and you got served. What is that? Swear to God, I have no idea there was a whole culture.
Yeah.
And then they started showing me stuff, and I went to my first event to watch, and I was like, nah, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Needless to say, his mom wasn't happy.
And she lost her mind because, she dedicated her whole life to me being successful in this. And 2012 was supposed to be an Olympic journey of mine, and I decided not to take it to start breaking.
Dreams dashed, but passion exploded. His gymnastics took breaking to the next level. But here's the wild part when he competes.
We have no idea what music's gonna play. We have no idea what song's gonna play. So before I go to a competition, I wanna know who the DJ is. I want to know how many DJs are going to go.
Ooh.
You know, is this person DJing prelims and this person DJing this, and then all of a sudden they'll surprise you and be like, we have a guest DJ who's doing the finals. And then you're like, ah, you know? Or some events will play a live band.
Oh my God.
And those are the craziest because the amount of like improv.
So Miguel has to practice a lot in his garage. And now the pressure has never been greater because what started as street dancing in the South Bronx in the late 60s and 70s has catapulted its way to the Olympics. And this year, Paris sets the stage for breakdancing as an Olympic sport for the first time ever.
I feel like 100% I'm going. Whether or not I still have to qualify, I don't think there's nothing stopping me now.
And as fate would have it, his youngest daughter is named Paris. She's one of 5 kids. Miguel's future goal, create a permanent home for kids to practice breakdancing. But for now, it's about going for gold. So what would your mom say now?
I'll tell you what she does say now, you better go get them.
Welcome back. Sometimes adversity can really push an athlete to rise to their fullest potential. One such athlete is swimmer Reagan Smith. I caught up with her at ASU as she was training for the Olympics.
I'm really excited for it.
Shattering world records, Reagan Smith was just 17 when she broke the 100 and 200 meter backstroke. In 2021, Smith won 3 medals at the Tokyo Olympics, 2 silvers for the 200 meter butterfly and the 4x100 meter medley relay, and 1 bronze for the 100 meter backstroke. But after the 2022 World Aquatics Championships, despite winning 2 gold medals, she also missed the podium twice. Smith hit a low point.
I was just under all of this pressure for 2 years essentially, and I couldn't back it up anymore. I didn't have the confidence in myself. I didn't feel like I was the swimmer that I was when I broke those world records. And yeah, I just crumbled under the pressure. And I don't think I was the swimmer that I could have been in Tokyo.
So Smith left Stanford and came to ASU. And it was here where her life took a 180.
The training has been incredible.
But grueling. Smith swims 9 times a week for 2 hours, some days twice a day, and lifts weights 3 days a week. She'll do that 11 months out of the year. Add to that competitions.
It's intense. It's very hard. It's a very aerobic and endurance-based sport.
Yeah.
And it's tough.
Especially when her coach is none other than Bob Bowman, former USA swimming coach who trained the world's greatest swimmer, Michael Phelps. What is it like to train and work under one of the best coaches, Bob Bowman?
Bob's incredible. Training under him has been an amazing experience.
Has Michael Phelps given you advice, or is he a mentor to you?
He was like, if you ever need anything, like, I completely understand what you're going through right now. This isn't easy. If you ever need anything, I'm here. I have your back. I'm rooting for you. I want you to succeed.
But Smith's biggest support comes from her family back home in Minnesota, who sacrificed so much.
My mom, my dad, and my stepmom, the 3 of them are an incredible team.
Smith's love of swimming started when she was just 7, watching her older sister, Brenna, swim competitively.
I always credit it to my sister because I don't think I would have wanted to compete had she not been competing.
Now at 22, Smith is ready. Take me now to Paris.
Yeah.
What is going to go through your mind when you hit the pool and you're competing?
Yeah, in Paris, the goal for me is to feel such a sense of calm and that I'm just not overthinking because I've done all the work.
Yeah.
You know, this whole time that I've been here.
To get you there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so once I get to Paris, it's like, okay, well, like the work is done. Now it's time to shut everything off up here and just go into autopilot and do what I need to do.
Still, Smith is laser focused on what she needs to do in Paris.
One of my dreams forever has been to win an Olympic gold medal.
You still got it in you.
I still got it in me.
For more Olympics.
Yeah, so this will not be the end. Absolutely not. I've got a lot more to give.
Since I last spoke with Reagan, Bob Bowman has moved on to the University of Texas to be their head swimming coach, and Reagan has followed him while also taking classes online at ASU. And while Reagan has been waiting 4 years to chase her gold medal dreams, another swimmer, Breeja Larson from Mesa, has waited much longer. Emma Jade has her story.
Breeja Larson and I have kept in close contact over the last decade or so. I was there in London 2012 when she won gold for her part in the 4x100 medley relay. Kept in contact with her when she tried to go for the Olympics again in Tokyo. But just recently, I called the East Valley native up to see if she could just come in studio, talk about her past Olympic experience. But she turned me down for a pretty good reason. The swimmer, who was retired, just can't seem to give it up. She is now back in the pool, training day in and day out for a spot in Paris. Breeja, what the heck is going on? You make it look so easy.
Oh, I love that it's not easy. I love the challenge of it all.
Yeah, I'd say pretty challenging to win a gold medal at the London Olympic Games in 2012, continue to swim competitively, and then retire 3 years ago, only to pick it back up again months before an Olympics.
I started to get more into shape just for swim clinics because it helps when you look like you know what you're doing. I might see if I can get a trials cut just to kind of network.
Not only did Breeja get a trials cut, but a call from an old coach, Dave Salo.
Wait, hold on, Dave. Do you think I can make the team? And he was just like, well, I do, but the most important thing is, do you? And I just had so many butterflies. And I was like, well, now I do.
That exact confidence moved her to California just a few weeks ago, where her days look like this. Swimming 6 days a week with Coach Dave, lifting weights 4 days a week, yoga every day, Peloton rides 5 days a week.
And the cool thing about it all is one, the muscle memory is already there. It's not going to be easy. It definitely won't be easy. And I love it when people tell me that, like it's an excuse. Well, it's going to be really hard. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, well aware.
It should be hard. I really enjoy, like it's almost like I'm a masochist in swimming. Like I enjoy the pain. When you can welcome it and be really excited and just thankful that you're able to have the opportunity to feel that level of like pain and workout and that you can control it, it's really fun.
And here we go. Swimming trials in Indianapolis are fast approaching, where we will find out if all of Breeja's hard work, the intense training, the dieting, the moving from Arizona to California, coming out of retirement, was all worth it. You can bet we're going to follow every inch of those trials for you, but she needs our support. So let's cheer on our hometown girl as she goes for another chance at gold yet again.
What would a trip to Paris be without tasting the cuisine? Up next, what makes the French style of cooking so unique? Plus, Olympians share their favorite snack foods. Want to see Mona Lisa's smile or the Venus de Milo? Then the world's most famous museum, the Louvre, is the place for you. By size, it's the largest museum in the world, with nearly 73,000 square meters of exhibition space, holding works from antiquity to the 19th century. The Louvre's pyramid design glass and metal structure was designed by the Chinese-American architect I.M. Pei. We are here with Executive Chef Vincent Roussel of Mon Ami Gabi, which means...
So Mon Ami Gabi is, it means my friend Gabi.
This is such a beautiful restaurant, but this has a lot of significance to you even before you started as an executive chef here.
Absolutely. You know, this is the most French restaurant in Las Vegas. And as a French cook, chef, when I moved in Las Vegas 25 years ago, and I basically looked at this Eiffel Tower coming in from the Eiffel Tower in France and Paris, I thought, you know, it'd be cool that maybe one day I can work here.
How would you describe French cuisine? What are the classic dishes?
Well, we actually got a few of the classic dishes here that we have in front of you. So starting with a skate wing, a skate wing is a typical piece of fish that you would find in a brasserie in Paris. We currently serve it with a little trout caviar sauce, a cream sauce. Onion soup is one of the appetizers that we sell the most in this restaurant. Those are the items that people brings memories. It brings, things that they experience while being in Paris.
For those who are not familiar with Parisian food, how would you describe the flavors?
The Parisian food is rather healthy. When we talk about steak, it's something that's very quick cuisine, but lots of salads, lots of things that are vegetables and produce driven. You're on a patio in the Taurasi in Paris, you definitely want to enjoy a glass of rosé. As far as, ingredients, straightforward, pristine ingredient, and just serve with a light sauce, a little garnish, and, keep the ingredients the star of the show. To me, has to represent that, has to represent, some sort of a vibe that you're going to enjoy while sitting in a patio, in the busy street of Paris.
If you had a cheat day, where on the opposite end, your guilty foods, what would that be?
What I truly enjoy would be a big chocolate cake, lots of warm chocolate sauce on it, a nice layer of chocolate mousse, and that's what's gonna, that's gonna make me feel guilty about it.
That sounds amazing. You know what, speaking of guilty foods, here's what some Olympic athletes like to binge on.
What is your cheat food?
Ooh, my cheat food is pizza. I can eat a whole pizza. That's my guilty pleasure. Yeah, I'm a big cheese pizza. Thin crust, light on the cheese. There it is.
Let's work. A'ja Wilson slicing through to lay it up and in. She has been the absolute engine.
Giant plate of cheese fries would be my cheat meal. If I'm back home in Chicago, I will go get an Italian beef sandwich and cheese fries from Portillo's. And then I'll go straight from there to Lou Malnati's for some Chicago deep dish pizza.
Ooh, cheap food? Maybe like In-N-Out. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, musubis, which is Spam, rice, wrapped in seaweed. So good.
I'll go with the brisket, especially when it's cooked right, juicy. Marinated it for not a day or two, Yeah, it's gonna be brisket for me.
Let's work. Women's 100 World Final. Here comes sha'carri Richardson. Sha'carri's done it.
Cheap food. Ooh, anything chocolate. Give me all the chocolate.
I have the worst sweet tooth of all time.
Like just glazed donut, make it warm and fresh.
In an Olympic year, I try not even to let myself go there. But yeah, I break every once in a while. It's ice cream or cookies.
Yes, ooh, chocolate covered strawberry.
Oh, wow. Do I actually take a bite?
Yeah, go for it. Oh my gosh. Fantastic.
That's actually good.
I always tell myself I earned it, so.
You have kind of an unusual name. Where did that come from?
Yeah, so my name came from my parents' first date, which was Rolling Stones. And the lead singer's name is Mick Jagger. And if you don't know that, then I would search him up on your phone ASAP.
Can he stick this trick? Yes, he can. Jagger Eaton on the podium for the USA, taking home the bronze.
My name's Jagger Eaton. I'm a professional skateboarder, and I'm from Mesa, Arizona. I think the one characteristic about skateboarding is that you learn how to fall and get back up.
Oh!
Right now, I got 2 pretty bad ankles. I have a growing hernia. I always think about the long-term repercussions of what I put my body through, but I'm obsessed, and I do believe that I'm one of the greatest skateboarders now and maybe ever to exist.
Let's go! Nice. I think we put him in the wrong chair, Hunter.
That was incredible timing. Right after I felt like I was saying something super arrogant.
What are your other hobbies?
That is nice. That is nice right there, ladies and gentlemen. That is nice.
I play a lot of golf when I'm not injured. Ever since I was a kid, like 6 to 15, when I was terrible at golf, my dad would still force us to all go golf on somebody's birthday just to spend 4 hours with each other.
What are the top 3 things on your bucket list?
I want to own over 100 acres on a piece of land and be able to build a house. The other 2 bucket list things are to have horses. 3rd bucket list would be to have 2 Olympic gold medals.
During the course of the Olympic Games, you'll be able to cheer on local athletes like Glendale's Breeja Larson, who will be competing in his 3rd Olympics in archery. But for now, we want to introduce you to an ASU wrestler who has a great sports name, Kennedy Blades. Emily Pritchard has her story.
This sweet victory, Kennedy Blades has qualified for Paris and will represent Team USA in the 2024 Summer Olympic Games. This has been her dream since she was a kid.
Honestly, I think it's just such an honor to represent the best country, and I've had this dream since I was 7 years old as a little girl.
As the excitement grows, she can't help but think about who's helped to get her to this podium-worthy moment.
Without my family, I feel like it wouldn't be possible. I think just having a strong rock behind you is the biggest thing to success.
Kennedy and her family have shared some major milestones celebrating at the Olympic trials. Kennedy credits some friendly sibling rivalry with her sister, who is only 10 months apart, with keeping her competitive.
My dad taught us boxing when we were like 3 and 4, but then my mom was like, all right, we gotta put them in a sport. So then they both decided to do jiu-jitsu because they believed that a combat sport would be better for us because we had so much energy. So they were like, we need to train you guys.
All that energy and passion has propelled Kennedy's journey, leading her to ASU and a member of Phoenix's Sun-Kissed Kids Wrestling Club. And her goal is gold.
Every time I hear the national anthem play, it's gonna be such an honor hearing that at the top of the podium. And that is my goal, and I'm doing everything I can.
When you think about all those emotions, there's excitement, there's nervousness, there's preparation. How do you maybe funnel that into making sure that you're ready for the Olympics?
Yeah, I just remember what the end goal is, and that's to win Olympic gold. And I feel like at the end of the day, the job's not done yet.
Nobody's asked you to walk for them?
Not yet, and I'm like, hold up now, I gotta look catwalk to me. Come on. Fashion plays a huge role in my life. It lets me have a personality, it brings it to life. It fluctuates a little bit, and it shows that versatility.
So I've always knew I wanted to be different. I've always done my best to be different, to be unique. So I feel like my fashion has reflected that all my life.
I take pride in what I wear. It's a representation of who I am. It's just a great way to express your creativity as well.
I never follow a trend. I'm always the opposite. I'll go back in time if I need to. I just love being able to, embrace things that maybe people never got to experience.
I'm a very diverse person, so I feel like different styles work very well on me.
I like to dress up. Sometimes I like to dress down like street style. I like to wear designer things, like Sherpa material. I'm obsessed. I have way too much of it.
What clothes appeal to you?
Clothes that make me joyful, that are comfy, that are functional. Pretty much what I'm wearing today.
My biggest fashion rule is stop wearing socks with sandals. It doesn't make sense, and especially flip-flops.
I love socks.
What is it about socks?
I don't know, they just keep my feet warm.
But what socks are you wearing right now?
Some white socks, I think. Yeah, I think they're from Target.
So the athletes have their style, and I gotta have mine too. Don't forget, I'll be covering the Olympics live from Paris for 2 weeks, only on 12 News. I'll be covering all the athletes and bring you all the action, and I probably won't have time to shop much, so that's why I'm doing it right here at the Paris Hotel. I can't wait. Au revoir.